student people. Okay, one student is 1 row. Count all. Okay, whatever. Count the row. What? I say have to bigger or equal than maybe 20 students, because if lower than 20, maybe they are 50 or 60 years who entry first but not graduate. So in this sense, something is the condition after the application, after second you have the application. So we can do what? You actually what? So that. So if I give you, can you tell me I should select what? I already grouped by, right? Group by entry year must be selected. Okay. So in this sense, you must have entry year first. Okay, because this one is the row. Every row is one entry year. Then the next one is what? They already told you the count row number of students should be bigger than 20. So that is mean the aggregate function should be what? Should be okay, count all. Okay, no problem. Then inside this one is very important. Sometimes count all, they will show a name, just a count. But that's not meaningful. Okay, so you can what? Give an alias. Okay, so you can say number of student. So this one is mainly show the color name you want to show. Okay, so in the final result. So tell me, now the final result will be look like what? Okay, from a student table, your final result will be like what? You will have a table. So this one is entry year. This one is number of students. Okay, number of students. Then maybe you have, I did not order by it. Okay, so you will have 2021, 2022. Then this one maybe 100 students, 200 students. Okay, you have some numbers inside. So if every entry year will be what? Will be aggregate should be one row. Okay, this one was aggregation. Then, but indeed, you measure it. Maybe this one is 2020. This one is 2025. So they are not the order you want. Then after that, you should write what? Because you already have this table, right? Then you have to make it look beautiful. Okay? So you will have what? You will order by, okay, to make it somehow beautiful. Then you can say, I want, okay, you want entry year, maybe DESC. Okay, you want is descending. You can have many conditions. So, okay, you also, oh, this one is like this, or you can do, maybe I use the other. Maybe sometimes you want, okay, wait. So I maybe use count. Okay, I use count number first because I want to show the example. So DESC, descending. Okay, but you should know some years fully graduated. I think no one is batch 1. Okay, so in this sense, I want to put what? They have some year was lose. So if lose, how is it? Usually you have to check your question. So lose, you want it to show before you fully graduate, then you have to put lose first. But if you ignore, you only want to know how many people was this. So you can say lose, you have an ace. Okay, lose last. Okay, this one I just read. You say this one cannot coexist. It's true. I just show you some example. Okay, because you already select bigger than 20, you cannot have lose. Okay, but this one I just tell you how to write. Must I have S now? Okay, so many S. Yeah? You might only want to show top one. So which year have maximum number of students? Okay. So in this sense, you do what? Limit one. Then you want to find the top one. If I say I want to find top two, the second one, okay, then you have to say offset one. So be careful. Offset is means skip one, then take one. Tell me, offset and limit, which perform first? You will take, then skip, or skip, then take. Limit and offset, which one is first, perform first? Offset, right? You have to skip, then you will take. Okay? So this one is the second one. So this one is what we have learned so far. Okay? But the key thing is where? Having. Please be careful. Okay? One is before group by, one is select row before you separate subgroup. One is condition that you aggregate the subgroup. Okay, this one was here. Then let me survey with the homework first. Okay, we have here. We was asking. So we have 10 table. Okay. Oh, I forgot to take the video stream. I think it will be serious. Sorry. Okay, let me turn on it. So, today 1 hour. I just said is 80 minutes. Sorry, please also join with me with like in this. Otherwise, other student cannot check the video recording. Okay, it's here, right? Okay, start. Okay. We go with the playground. Then the question we facing is how many transactions happen in 2024 December. So the thing you necessary to go the transaction. So indeed you can type or you can just click this. This one is the transaction. So they will automatically show. So this one become a transaction. So how many of them to happen in 2024 12 5th? Okay. So you can do together with this, okay, from a transaction table. Okay, what is this? Okay, still okay, right? Okay, seems still fine. Close. Have to restart again. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Why I have many of them? I also don't know. Why have two? So unmute or unmute? Okay, two of them turn on. Are you kidding me? Can I kick my out? Cannot reclaim host. And I'm a co-host. Okay, come back. Okay, I think the system. So I want to count. Okay, so the transaction days is 2000 December. So indeed, choose a table. Okay, then you should have a well transaction date. So because it's a date, use single quote. Okay, so 2024 slash 12 slash 05. Okay, so you will have this. Okay, then you can what? You can directly count. Okay, you're not necessary to have. Okay, yes, right. How many transactions happen? Yes. When you run, you will have 4. Okay. How to modify? If you will use group by. If you will use group by, how you will do? You can do what? Group by. Now you don't select. Okay. You say group by transaction date. Then this one have to have what? Having. If you will use. Okay. So after group by, you say having this one equal to here. Okay. Then you will have, but this one, because you group by the transaction date, you can perform this as well. It's the same. No problem? Any question? I first group by transaction date. Okay. Then I having, because I already group by. After that, I have having. Then I say transaction date and run. Then I will have 2. Okay, depend on how you want to see. Then, any problem? Okay. Then the next one, total sales per day. What is total sales per day? Transaction, right? Okay. So you will go by, but I don't have any sales. It's still. How to calculate total sales? I already separate every day already. I need total sales. Total sales is what? Sum. Okay, is sales or not? I cannot see. Okay, let me run this one first. I forgot the column. Sum. How to do? How to do the total sales? I have quantity, but I seem to have no sales. Total sales is what? Actually, they need to use join. I think my problem may be not quite good. So how it will be? You necessary to have a price, right? Okay. Okay, so you have not tag ID, you go with the product. Okay, so you will have a price here. I think I need to modify the problem. So this one, I just sum with the quantity first. Okay, I thought there is a price here. Just the total quantity, how many things you have sold. Okay. So in this one, you will have, be careful, you will see. If I don't give them alias, they will have what? Sum. Okay. So in this sense, as you can say total quantity. Okay. You can give them a name. Okay. Then you will have total quantity. Okay. So this one I change a little bit. Total sales by quantity. Okay, because the price is in other table, you cannot really count the sales. Okay. Because we did not learn join yet. Indeed, you can do. Okay, I did not say you cannot do, but I want to reduce the level. Okay. By total sales, by quantity. Okay, rank product ID. Top 3 product by the total sales. Okay. So we have here the same thing. We go to transaction again. Okay, this one is the answer because I cannot count the sales. Later I will tell you. Okay. Then you have quantity by what? by the product, right? So what you need to do, the same thing, but now how you will group by? Group by what? They will say what? Rank the product ID. Okay? So you need to what? Group by product ID. No problem? Okay, group by product ID. So the same thing, you group by, you must carry product ID. Then what? Sum quantity as total, maybe total sales by quantity. Okay, total sales by quantity because there's no other we can sum. Any problem? Okay. So when you run, you will have total sales by quantity. Okay. But the problem is they want you to rank. So you necessary to be what? You need to order by. Okay. So order by is after select. You can do. Okay, just the total sale of the quantity, but you need to tell them is descending. Okay, you can write north last is. Okay, then you have north last, put the north in the end. Okay, indeed we don't have. Okay. So be careful, I require 60%. Okay, of the accuracy and submission. Submission is the total score if you it's just zero. We have some mistakes. Okay, so here I think I highlight as is alias. Okay, so you can give some colon. Is for filter the rows before group. Okay, so not join the group. Then having is after grouping, so they will filter out the aggregate value. So be careful is that you say having sometimes can perform where? True. But I don't suggest you to use having perform where. Don't need to have it. So if I give you choice, you should select the one do by where. Okay, so be careful. Okay, only left the aggregation value to be having. Okay, to be the having one. So this one was say use having when well is used. Okay, can be used. This one is you can run, but the problem is it will be slow.
Okay, and the next one, you cannot use limit without group by. Limit without group by will be what? Random select the value. Order by, sorry. You must order it from small to big, big then small, then you can find top three, last three. So if you don't have order by, then don't have any meaning. Okay? Limit don't change any data. Okay? And the next one, select not happen first. Okay? Thereafter will and group by. Okay? They just before the order by. No problem? So the performing order. And some of other you need to be careful is that you don't grouping without understand the question. You must say it's when it's necessary to group or not. Okay. Sometimes no need to group. They just ask you the total, not total by day. Then you don't necessary to group. Okay. You should not. Okay. So mix row column in summary because you cannot put the aggregation and some date or some product ID with aggregation without group by. Okay. Otherwise, it will show an error. Okay. Okay. So this one we did not do yet, right? Okay. Oh, do we need aggregation? Show student names. Do we need aggregation? No. Okay. So it's necessary. Okay. List out all student names. No. Count students per course. Yes, okay. But you will say what? Group by course, but be careful, you have to select course and count students. Yes. Show all orders?
No.
No, okay. Then total sales per day? Yes, okay. So be careful what you need, what you cannot. Okay. Then this one, be careful is that okay. If your structure is incorrect, so if your database, the fundamental structure is incorrect, your result will be still wrong, okay? Because the data may be duplicated in your system, okay? Duplicate is a problem because sometimes you update, you will not update, you will not remember to update everywhere. So maybe one table is updated, one table is not. What will happen? I will not know which one is updated, which one is the old one. Okay, so usually we don't prefer the data duplication. Okay, so in the database, especially the rational database, information is mixed. So your information is not properly classified. Okay, then your update will be inconsistent. So this kind of thing are structure problem. So how to reduce the structure problem? We usually will perform normalization. Remember, this name is very common in the database. So they ask you, normalization is mean you need to organize your table to avoid confusing as a mistake. So the goal is what? Reduce duplication. Because no duplication, you will avoid inconsistent values. Okay? Then you can make update will be safer. You will not have conflict, then you will have a trust in a report. So this one is a normalization. I think in the beginning I have mentioned there is a problem called a big table. So you put everything inside of a table. Okay? You have a problem what? You cannot input, for example, okay? For example, if like this, can you delete Anna? Can you delete Anna? If you delete Anna, your product gone. No problem, because it's a whole row, right? You delete Anna, these two table will gone. Okay, these two row will gone. Then you have no any product you sell, so you have no any relationship with your product. But you see, when you want to input a product, pencil, but they still have no customer purchase it yet, can you input? No. So that is mean you cannot input. Okay, You also cannot what? Delete, because delete will delete some value. But you think about update. If you update the Q1's email, you will face, okay? You may have the same name, same customer, they have two different email as they show here. They will have an update problem. Then the email of this person will be inconsistent, okay? So as a here, the problem always cause same customer, different email, same product, different price. So when it happens like this, which one is the correct one? So you will be keep confusing with the value inside, and you cannot input, cannot delete, okay? So the core question is that, are we repeating the same information as we say the email? Are you repeating the email for the same person? Are you repeating the price for the same product? Okay, so is the column mix multiple fact? Do you have some data related to students, some data related to product? Okay. Does one change? If you want to update the price of a product, does it will cause many updates? So you need to update many rows. If you have this kind of question, you need to normalize. Okay, so be careful. Okay, check your duplication. Normalization have many level. I have 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF, 4NF, 5NF. Indeed, I don't cover the part 1, 2, 3. You just need to care about the first 1, 2, 3 because most of the database nowadays is only reach 3NF. Why? If it's over 3NF or BCNF, your information in a table become very peaceful pieces, okay, very small. So the problem is you do any select, any query, you might need to join table together. So that is mean increasing your time for the query. So that is why in order to balancing, be careful, I say balancing what? Storage. Storage is mean duplication and the time. Okay, so today's main we will learn drawing. You will know how we will connect the table. So time and storage. Okay, so it's two sides. You need to balance them. So usually we will go 3NF to BCNF. So only go middle. We don't go very high NF level. And you need to be careful as we say. We have 1NF, 2NF, 3NF. Actually, we still have B, C, and F. Okay, we still have other levels. Okay, but usually we go until here. But I want to reduce the difficulty. So in this class, I only consider 3 and F. Okay, so this one, be careful is that one thing I ask you to remember is that if you satisfy 2 and F, you must satisfy 1 and F. Okay, if you satisfy 3 and F, that is mean you satisfy 1 and 2 already. Okay, there are more and more higher for the equation. But why we stop here is because you have to balancing your storage. I mean duplication. Okay, we know they will try to reduce the duplication one by one. But on the other side, they will increase the time. Okay, because when you search it, you separate table to include two small information. So every time you need to join. So you will have a time problem. So inside of balance. The 1NF, okay, the requirement is that you should have your table when you do. The first one, you should have an ID. Okay, so you should have a PK key. Okay, maybe you have something like student ID, maybe you have something product ID, but no problem. These two combined is making the row to be unique. So anyway, they need a primary key. You should be able to find the primary key there. Okay, if no primary key, cannot.
And all the column, so you have something like a student name, okay, student name, product name. So you have something like email, price, or anything. So you should have not like something like first name and comma last name. No, this kind of thing cannot. You cannot combine first name and last name together. You have to separate one column first name, one column last name. No problem? You don't have any list inside of a cell. Okay? So you should separate them into separate columns. Okay? So, and you should not have the accent. So for example, you have some pen only have here, but no this people ID. No. You must at least the ID should be always filled in. Okay? No problem? So this one is 1NF. 2NF. 2NF is that you are one table is necessary to be what? Necessary to be related to one object. Okay? So in this one, if you have some content, student and product, this one related to two objects, separate them. No problem? Separate. Okay? You cannot have this one actually we define by partial dependency. For example, I say I have two keys, student ID and product ID. If you have some column, so student name is only depend on student ID, but not depend on product ID. Then that is means this one should separate from product ID table. No problem? So no any column depend on just a part of the primary key. Okay, so this one you need to separate. Okay, no matter you understand by any way is fine. So if different projects separate, or some column cannot depend on only partial of the key. Okay, this one is 2NF. 2NF must satisfy 1NF. Okay. Then the third one. Okay, one table, one topic. Okay, so change the city should not live in the customer table. Okay, then you will have change once, then not everywhere. So as we said, single rule, single topic. Okay, and you also cannot have. So for example, okay, so for example, student name, okay, define the email. Because for Ajang's name define the email, the Chula email, alright? So in this case, you must separate the emails, okay, from the basic one, okay, because that one is not related to the student ID, not depend on the private key. So you have to separate to an email. Okay? So there are some column not depend on the primary key, but depend on some non-key column. So separate that column away. Okay, so this one is a 3NF. Before, so normalization, you usually will have one big table, complete, round total. But after that, you will have what? You will have very clean logic. You will have some student table, cost table, registration table. Also, table is one object or some M2M, multiple to multiple relationship. Okay. So why normalization matters? Okay, so they will give a very clear structure to you because you will be very easy to know what to do by. Okay, otherwise you may hard to find. So you can order by very easily. Okay, correct. Then your limit will focus correctly because limit have to base on order by. Then you may control it more easily. Okay, so you will have a primary key and other. They not required. Okay, so be careful.
They don't require proving, they don't require memory loop, but they require whether you design good or not, whether you split data good or not. You should very clear the relationship between the object. Okay, so this one is the key problem is that please don't use your common sense to judge the business. Okay, so you will see, you how many cars you can have? Car depend on your car park, right? So when you buy the condominium, the car will based on the size of your room. If you're small size, no fixed parking. If you're medium size, you have one fixed parking. If you're large size, you have two fixed parking. Okay? But in Pasai, the whole Pasai can book only 10 car park when I ask them. So we don't have 1 to 1 park. So that is we want. There is no common business rule fit for everywhere. You must discuss inside of your business. So there are sometimes if you check your graph, sometimes they say they deliver over 30 minutes, they say delay, they will give you some coupon. But sometimes even you go 50 minutes, they're not delayed because of what? Because it's rush hour. So this is the business rule they set up. Why 30 minutes? Okay, can my business 20 minutes, 10 minutes? That is you decide. Okay, so in this case, think about it. Okay. Okay, then how to break to the today's new content? Normalization told you what? Split the table to reduce the difficulty. But if you split it, but you need the information across the table, how you will be? You need to use join to connect them back to have the data. Okay? So that is maybe necessary to learn the join, okay, in the new part. Takeaway, okay, aggregation is to answer business level question. Usually it's about your KPI, like total sales, total revenue, total cost of sold, okay, what is your conversion rate, okay, so what is your some others ROI, okay, so this one are business level. Then group by comparison, order by priority, okay, so you need to have the insight comes before the truth. It's not limited by the tools. Okay, that is all here. I think I reviewed everything. Then let us start a quiz.